Kerala High Court has ordered for a total ban on protests and demonstrations in the state till the 31st of July. Now, this order comes in after a petition was filed in court to which a bench headed by Chief Justice has ordered that the central guidelines on COVID-19 should be implemented strictly. DGP and the Chief Secretary should make sure that the guidelines are followed and no protests are allowed. So with this, protests will not be allowed because of the pandemic. Our correspondent Vivek is getting us further details here. Vivek, given the fact now that the Kerala High Court also making this very clear that there is to be a total ban on protests because social distancing norms, safety, hygiene is not taken care of in these protests. So there will be no protests at all then?
Exactly. That's what exactly the Kerala High Court has clearly said, that there should not be any protests or demonstrations at this point of time. There should not be any gatherings. That's what they exactly meant. If you look at the last few days, there has been an N number of instances where various political parties are holding protests and demonstrations and, blatantly violating the COVID-19 protocols. And it's at this instance that, a petition has been filed, and the Kerala High Court has clearly directed the Chief Secretary and the DGP of the state to ensure that this order is being followed in the right spirit. Now, which means that at least till the 31st of July, that there should not be any protest or demonstrations against any political parties or any establishments, or be the ruling dispensation. No political party should hold a protest. So this is a very strict order, basically looking into consideration the number of COVID cases that's been increasing in the state, and also the hotspot that has been increasing on a daily basis. Kerala has witnessed 610 cases yesterday, and the cases are increasing day by day. And a lot of containment zones and triple lockdowns have been implemented at various places, and it's at this juncture that the Honorable High Court has intervened.
Vivek, thank you for getting us those details there. On the big story here, I'm Seher Zaman. We're keeping the focus on those developments coming in from Rajasthan. A rebel leader of the Congress, Sachin Pilot, still hasn't held a press conference or given out any details of what his next step is to be after he was sacked from two very important positions that he held in Rajasthan. But he's cleared the air, speaking to different channels here, saying that he is not going to be joining the BJP. Pilot has also alleged there are some political leaders who are trying to only fuel speculations in that regard. Just a short while back, Sachin Pilot reached the Manesar Hotel, which is in Haryana, to meet with some of the Rajasthan MLAs who have been supporting him. Questions that continue to be raised as far as his whether or not he is going to be joining the BJP, and the Congress has made a very sharp remark there, questioning Sachin Pilot's political stand, asking if there are certain MLAs supporting him still holed up at a hotel in Manesar in Haryana, which is a BJP-ruled state. Does he really have no intentions of talking with the BJP, is the question that is being asked by the Congress there.
आज फिर मीडिया के साथियों के माध्यम से हमने हमारे युवा साथी श्री सचिन पायलट का बयान देखा है, जिसमें उन्होंने मीडिया के साथियों के माध्यम से कहा कि वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नहीं जाना चाहते या नहीं जाएंगे। हम लगभग 10 साल इधर 10 साल उधर, हम सब हम उम्र साथी हैं। हम हमारे युवा साथी सचिन पायलट जी और कांग्रेस विधायक साथियों को कहेंगे, अगर आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नहीं जाना चाहते तो फिर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की हरियाणा सरकार की मेजबानी फौरन अस्वीकार कीजिए। अगर आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नहीं जाना चाहते तो मनोहर लाल खट्टर की भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सुरक्षा चक्र को तोड़कर जिनको आईटीसी ग्रैंड और लेमन ट्री होटल गुड़गांव के अंदर लगा रखा है, उनके चंगुल से बाहर आइए। अगर आपका भाजपा में नहीं जाना चाहते तो फिर ये 2 होटल जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के डिफेक्टर एमएलएस का पिछले समय में भी अड्डा बन गए हैं और जहां कांग्रेस पार्टी के विधायक साथी इस समय हैं, उन सबको भाजपा की पुलिस, हरियाणा की भाजपा की पुलिस के चंगुल से मुक्त करवाइए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के किसी भी नेता से वार्तालाप और चर्चा बंद कर दीजिए और परिवार के सदस्य की तरह अपने घर वापस जयपुर लौट आइए।
Let's also listen into what the Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has maintained here, once again reiterating charges of horse trading against the BJP, to the extent saying that he can also show proof of this allegation against the BJP, justifying why they've had to put up their MLAs at a hotel. Meanwhile, the Congress has dissolved all its district and block committees in the state, and the formation of new committees is to take place soon as well.
हमारे कुछ साथी बीजेपी के ट्रैप में फंस करके अति महत्वाकांक्षी बन करके हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग करना उनके साथ में आप हॉबनॉबिंग करो, उनके साथ में पैसे की डील करो, उनके साथ में लेन देन करो, उनके साथ हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग करो। कितने करोड़ मिलेंगे आपको पहले फेज में? पहली किस्त कितनी मिलेगी आपको? सेकंड कितनी मिलेगी आपको? बीजेपी के बंधक है जिन्होंने किस्तें ले रखी है, वहां पर अंदर बैठे हुए लोग, हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग की गई है। हमारे पास प्रूफ है, कोई अच्छा इंग्लिश हिंदी बोलना, अच्छी बाइट देना, वो सब कुछ नहीं होता है। अच्छे हैंडसम पर्सन होने सब कुछ नहीं होता है। आपके दिल में क्या है देश के लिए, आपका कमिटमेंट क्या है, आपकी विचारधारा, नीति, कार्यक्रम जो है आपकी पार्टी के, कितना बड़ा कमिटमेंट है आपका, ये सब देखा जाता है आपको। सोने की छुरी पेट में खाने के लिए नहीं होती है, आप समझ गए? सोने की छुरी पेट में खाने के लिए नहीं होती है, समझ जाओ आप लोग।
Our correspondent Ayushman is getting us further inputs here on this. Ayushman, we're now looking at the Chief Minister, of course, personally also attacking Sachin Pilot, not just him, but very clearly saying, reiterating those charges against the BJP, indicating if asked can furbish proof of horse trading as well.
Well, sir, a direct attack on Sachin Pilot and his camp. Clearly, Ashok Gehlot is not mincing his words. He is clearly saying that there are deals being made of the amount of the money that has been disclosed to the Rajasthan government. Probably this is the reason why the notice was served to Sachin Pilot, which infuriated him. And the Pilot camp said that he was being publicly humiliated. But if you look at the words closely being spoken by Sachin Pilot, Ashok Gehlot about Sachin Pilot, he clearly mentions that there were deals being made, horse trading was being done. The MLAs were being promised the money in the first phase and then second phase. If you see the charges made by Randeep Surjewala, he clearly somewhere slammed Sachin Pilot, saying if you are staying in the guard of the Haryana police, and that too in Manesar, which is a BJP ruled state, it clearly means that you are not there with the Congress party. Party forum is the right place to raise your voice, and you can come again. But today, early morning, we saw that there was an announcement. One of the MLA confirmed to us that yes, there was a briefing taking place at 1 p.m. And before that, some of the reports came in media in which Sachin Pilot again reiterated his words that he's not going to join BJP. Clearly, Congress is not getting convinced by all that. They are clear of the mindset that somewhere Sachin Pilot and his loyalists need to come back to Jaipur and meet the speaker and also the concerned authorities, so that they can talk not via media but directly, and then the doubts can be cleared. For now, definitely there is no mincing of word from Ashok Gehlot and Randeep Surjewala. They are clearly targeting Sachin Pilot.
Ayushman, thank you for getting us those inputs. The BJP, in fact, has also reacted to that charge of Ashok Gehlot's charge of horse trading here. And this is a counter charge by the BJP. The state president has accused the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot of acquiring majority by influencing people with money.
देखिए, वो बहुत चतुर राजनेता हैं और पिछले मैं देख रहा हूँ इस सरकार के बनने के बाद उनका अधिकांश समय प्रधानमंत्री जी पर, गृह मंत्री जी पर, भारतीय जनता पार्टी पर आरोप लगाने में बीता है। इस बात के कोई किसी तरीके के प्रमाण नहीं है। राजनीति में इस तरीके के आरोप लगते हैं। ये बात हमें भी लगता है राज्यसभा के चुनाव में जो उन्होंने बहुमत हासिल किया, कहीं न कहीं उन्होंने भी इसी तरीके से पैसे के बल पर लोगों को प्रभावित किया होगा। कांग्रेस पार्टी की फितरत रही है, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि एक तो वो बड़ी निराशा के शिकार हैं। बहुमत पूरा था नहीं, जुगाड़ का बहुमत था जिसमें बहुजन समाज पार्टी को मर्ज किया, इंडिपेंडेंट्स को इन्फ्लुएंस किया, छोटी पार्टियों को जोड़ा।
और बीजेपी आगे इस चीज़ को कैसे देखती है? क्या फ्लोर टेस्ट के लिए जाएगी? क्योंकि आपने भी कल कहा था कि मेजॉरिटी तो नहीं है, लेकिन क्या फ्लोर टेस्ट की आप फिर मांग करेंगे? देखिए,
हमें आवश्यकता नहीं है क्योंकि हम पार्ट नहीं हैं। और जो खेमा अलग हुआ कांग्रेस पार्टी का, जो कांग्रेस के भीतर रिफॉर्म की डिमांड कर रहा है, प्रदेश में डिमांड कर रहा है, अभी मुझे लगता है कि उनको देखना चाहिए कि उनका एक्शन क्या होता है। हम एक जिम्मेवार विपक्ष हैं, उस नाते कहीं आवश्यकता पड़ेगी तो हम उसका विश्लेषण कर रहे हैं कि किस वक्त हमारी कैसी भूमिका रहनी चाहिए। और इसलिए केवल मीटिंग्स की आवश्यकता नहीं है, व्यक्तिगत तौर पर हमारी काफ़ी बातें हो जाती हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि हमें अभी देखने और इंतजार करने की नीति पर।
Let's get in a word here. Managing Editor Vinay Tiwari with us to discuss this further. Vinay, we've repeatedly, of course, seen this happening in other states here as well. But today, as far as Sachin Pilot's stand is concerned, who hasn't given out much, apart from entirely ruling out that he's not going to be joining the BJP, but very lately is a pertinent question that's been asked by the Congress. His supporters, his MLAs that are at the Manesar Hotel in Haryana have been at a place which has centered around similar such BJP politics, questioning that if he isn't joining the BJP, he shouldn't be holding up his support of MLAs in a BJP-ruled state of Haryana at that hotel then?
There are three things very clear, Seher, in this entire, theatrics that we've seen over the last week or so. Number one, this is a line that the Congress has taken to suggest that the BJP is actually actively trying to dislodge the government. And actually, ironically, in this particular instance, as opposed to the Madhya Pradesh instance, that's not entirely true. The BJP has realized it, and today's comment by the BJP state unit president as well as some of the other leaders that they will not push for a trust vote is indicative of the fact that they've realized that Gehlot does command the numbers that he needs to stay in power in the center. That is also the reason why, Seher, you see a little bit of a climb down from Sachin Pilot himself. The very fact that he's cancelled two briefings that he was supposed to do today. First, the announcement was for 10 a.m. and then for 1 p.m. And subsequently, he leaked off record to many media houses saying, I'm not going to join the BJP. That was a realization to some extent that his position had weakened from the time that he started off. Remember, there was a very specific reason why the Sachin Pilot camp was pushing the number of 30 MLAs with him and not one less or not one more, because it is the 30 mark which would have meant that the Gehlot government would have been toppled and not less. Remember, not only had Ashok Gehlot come back with 100 MLAs, but of the 13 independents that currently are in the Rajasthan Assembly, almost 10 are actually old congressmen who belong to Gehlot. In fact, when they were denied tickets because of the battle of ticket distribution between Sachin Pilot and Gehlot, these are the 10 people who belong to the Gehlot camp. He also managed something else. He got the entire BSP MLAs to cross over to his side. So he had strengthened his position in the last 1 year or so. And that is where you see that Sachin Pilot's position has slightly weakened from the time that the first challenge started happening openly. In fact, I would go to the extent of saying that Sachin Pilot kind of walked into the trap that Gehlot had set for him, where he created a scenario where Sachin Pilot actually had no option but to create some sort of a rebellion, sir.
Yes, please stay with us. Also getting in a voice, constitutional expert Mr. Subhash Kashyap with us over the phone line. Mr. Kashyap, appreciate you being with us. We've discussed these similar such developments in the past year as well, be it what happened in Karnataka, be it what happened far more recently in Madhya Pradesh. We're looking at this along similar lines, but effectively what works as a deterrent in stopping a repeat of what has happened in the past, in having MLAs deflect to another party and sitting and waiting it out for by-elections to take place in 6 months' time. These are all issues that have been manipulated in the past.
What is the question you are asking me? Hello.
Yes, Mr. Kashyap, we're wanting to know that what really works as a deterrent.
Well, I do not want to comment on the political situation or the party politics involved or the struggle for power. I can tell you only the legal and constitutional position. Under the 10th schedule of the Constitution.
But Mr. Kashyap, stay on with us, please. Also, right. Vinay, why don't you go ahead if there's a specific question that you would like to ask here?
Mr. Kashyap, there is a very specific question that we had on purely a constitutional legal matter, which is this. In Rajasthan, we are seeing a situation where the Speaker has now issued disqualification notices to the 19 MLAs who did not turn up for the whip that was issued by the party. My specific question is, can the Speaker or does the Speaker's jurisdiction run over an internal party meeting, even if the House is not in session? And can he actually exercise the right of disqualification in such a case?
Well, I have not seen the notice, but the Speaker would be within his powers to issue a notice during the intersession period or during the session period. If a petition has been filed with him, only if a petition has been filed with him for the disqualification of certain members on certain grounds, then he can give a notice to the members concerned to state their part of the story. Issuing a notice only means giving them an opportunity to state the position as it is according to them.
But as per the stated law, Mr. Kashyap, it means that if he does not find the responses satisfactory, the MLAs can get disqualified from the membership of the House, even if it wasn't an issue of them not returning up on the floor of the House. This was just a CLP meeting which happened in a hotel.
That's a very relevant question. Under the 10th schedule of the Constitution, which is often referred to as the anti-defection law, a person can be disqualified by the Speaker on 3 grounds. One, if he votes against or abstains from voting against the party directive, against his party directive. That is one. Second, if he voluntarily resigns from the party on the ticket of which he was elected. Third is if he indulges in conduct which is tantamount to leaving the party. It is under the third category that the Speaker has some leeway to use his discretion and decide whether the conduct of the member or members concerned has been such that it amounts to leaving the party voluntarily.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kashyap, for clarifying this for us. So, Seher, as you heard, I think the reason why we wanted this specific question to be noted was because there are now that the Congress Sachin Pilot camp may act Supreme Court against the notices that have been issued by the Speaker. And remember that if that happens, then obviously we're looking at a longer protracted legal battle in anticipation that the Congress Gehlot camp or CP Joshi, who's the current Speaker, may move to disqualifying the 19 MLAs who did not turn up for the meeting, Sir.
All right, many thanks for getting us that insight here. Once again, taking a listen in to another statement that's come in from the Rajasthan Chief Minister, taking a swipe at Sachin Pilot, saying that speaking good English, giving bites to the media is not enough for politics. Remember, this is a personal jibe against Sachin Pilot.
कोई अच्छा इंग्लिश हिंदी बोलना, अच्छी बाइट देना, वो सब कुछ नहीं होता है. अच्छे हैंडसम पर्सन वाले सब कुछ नहीं होता है। आपके दिल में क्या है देश के लिए, आपका कमिटमेंट क्या है, आपकी विचारधारा, नीति, कार्यक्रम जो है आपकी पार्टी के, कितना बड़ा कमिटमेंट है आपका, ये सब देखा जाता है आपको। सोने की छुरी पेट में खाने के लिए नहीं होती है, आप समझ गए? सोने की छुरी पेट में खाने के लिए नहीं होती है, समझ जाओ आप लोग।
On that, we're slipping into a very tiny breather on the big story. Stay on with us. Back in just a bit. COVID-related news now, state of Bihar, which is to once again go back into a lockdown. This is starting tomorrow till the end of the month, and this is specifically going to be in urban areas and cities and not in rural areas. The lockdown will be enforced right up to the end of the month, as we said, because during this 15-day period, only emergency services, essential services are going to be allowed. Commercial establishment, which includes office, religious places, all to remain shut. So it is practically going back to what we've seen earlier in the rest of the country of a state of a lockdown. Trains and flight services, though, are to continue. So movement of people about in using train and flight services is going to be allowed. On a worrisome note, BJP headquarters in Patna has now become a corona hotbed. The BJP state president Sanjay Jaiswal, along with 40 other BJP members who are working at the office, have tested positive, and 20 staff members from the governor's house have also been tested positive.
Right now we are reporting from Patna, and since in Patna, the district administration had already announced a lockdown earlier as well. So you can clearly see that all shops, all business establishments are closed. As far as the lockdown which has been announced, the government has clearly laid down a set of do's and don'ts for the people. All shopping malls, all business establishments, private offices, religious places will remain shut. However, air and traffic services will be on. That is what the government has said, and government has clearly said, has requested all the people to maintain this lockdown. Now, over the last few days, the opposition has lashed out at the government, saying that the number of tests which should have been conducted is not being conducted. The infrastructure at the medical colleges and the hospitals is not up to the mark, and that is the reason why the number of positive cases are being recorded are very less, and that is what the opposition has been saying. The opposition has clearly lashed out at the chief minister as well, saying that the chief minister was caught napping, and that is the reason why after unlock 1 and unlock 2, the state government was forced to announce a lockdown again, which clearly shows that there was no preparedness on the part of the state government. As far as the hospitals are concerned, certainly a lot of complaints are coming that people with positive cases are not being admitted to the hospital because it's being said that there are no much infrastructure in the hospital. But certainly the state government is trying to tackle this lockdown as well. In the coming days, the state government has appealed to all the people to break the chain. People have been asked to maintain social distancing, because we had seen that how in Bihar elections were about to be held in Bihar, and that was the reason why a large number of political activities was also taking place, after which more than 50 people at the BJP office here in Patna were tested positive, which included senior political leaders and office bearers of the BJP as well. Many ministers, MLAs, MLCs and even bureaucrats have tested positive, which certainly shows that the situation here in Bihar is alarming, and the state government now needs to wake up, and each and every citizen of the state also needs to come forward to fight this deadly COVID-19. With camera person Kumar Saurabh, this is Shyam Sundar Shishovid reporting from Patna for Mirror Now.
State affairs in Bihar there. With that, it is a wrap on the big story. Thanks for being with us.